Hi, thanks for coming back to my channel. I'm having a binaural beat playing in the background of this reading. It's set to the frequency of 126.22, which is the frequency of the sun, which is also the frequency of your solar plexus. Kind of zeroing in on a sense of purpose. And I thought this was very fitting for a divine masculine reading, where I am a divine masculine, and it would be a letter for the divine feminine. So, trying to unleash some of these feelings of the heart and sense of purpose and duty to God or to the universe, but surrendering to that energy is uh, is is the highlight of this reading. But with the binaural beats, I have a book here. It's this book right here. I love this book. It was given to me by my mother for Christmas a couple of years ago, but I find it really inspiring, so I tend to use it in my readings. But if we just use that binaural beat, 126.22, that's this December. If you look at it as a date, and maybe your birthday or somebody's birthday close to you is on December 6th, and this is the message that Jesus would bring into this message. And it says, if you feel empty and drained of energy, I understand. I'm here. I'm here to revive you. My spirit is in you to lift you up and restore your soul to an even happier and more energetic you. When you're weary and without strength to carry on, take a deep breath. Fix your thoughts on me and let me love you. When you feel you have nothing to give me that nothing. So I think that's very enlightening, and I think that's really in similitude to the weight that a divine masculine really carries on their shoulders, and a lot of it is unnecessary. And I believe that's what the divine masculine is coming into an understanding of at this time, is to simplify his life and to make necessary adjustments and changes to allow a divine feminine to be present and be fully present. And so I'm going to read right now from this letter for the divine feminine. But first, let's go into the angel numbers and break down that binaural beat. This is the book right here. It's called Angel Numbers, but we're going to break that binaural beat down. And it's going to be 126 is the number, just like 126 also equates December 6th. So what it says right here on 126, it says, when you are facing a roadblock or something is going wrong, trust that God has a better plan for you. And then we have for 22, you are at a crucial point on your journey which will help you understand the relationships and spiritual assignments that will support your growth. So that's very enlightening there. I think that's exactly where the divine masculine is at this time. And we're going to read the letter that he has here, and it's dated 2/6/22. The numbers added together, 2 and 6 is 8. So that could be a life path number. 2 and 6 is 8. And then also we also have 22, which is also a master builder number in numerology. But if you add them all together, then you would have 4 for the 22, and then the 8 would be 12. So 12, break that down another level, would be 3, which is body, mind, and soul. So this is a real I guess a earthquaking kind of a moment for the divine masculine to be able to um, express these emotions to the divine feminine. So this is the letter to the divine feminine. It says, divine feminine, I feel as though I struggle with a plethora of mental frameworks in regards to our unique and rare connection. I feel like I am continually playing catch up with my awakenings, downloads, and epiphanies. I am amazed at how well you are able to juggle your own responsibilities to yourself, your career, and your family, and then there's me. To be honest, You have me figured out on a very personal level. I tend to dwell on the fantasy and idea of you, and subconsciously I freeze when it comes to grounding this energy in a more practical manner. I understand now how frustrating this must have been on the reality that you live. I am not going to sit and list all the variables of this complicated equation. I want to eliminate the excuses that translate as abuse and rather trap you in a state of enabling my poor behavior. For that, I am very sorry, and in the same breath, I am grateful beyond measure for your royal divinity and intuition to handle the dynamics of our relationship with such grace, mercy, and integrity. I am so in love with the essence of your divine feminine energy. In your silence, I feel nurtured and grounded, as weird as that may seem. Let me explain. I see your worth and what you deserve, and that words are just words without the action it requires to permeate our soul-to-soul connection. I never really trusted anyone in my life, and taking full action towards love really carried no sense of value to me. My inner child feels your nurturing love and clutches to your loving embrace. I trust you. I love you. You're such an angel to me in my life, and as I write you now, my higher self radiates with a fullness of gratitude for not only you, but for love, life, and even for the path that has delivered me from my internal struggles. I know that I've got more work to tend to, but I feel so deeply within me a readiness to grow with the flow next to you. Because of you, I am awakened to the lessons that bridges the gap between me and you. I finally feel grounded. I am awake. I am love. I am aware. Divine Masculine. All right, so pretty heartfelt message from the Divine Masculine. I think he's understood some things about his inner child and his upbringing, and kind of the mental fog caused by the subconscious mind, and kind of bringing things into a sense of awareness. But right here, I have some, as you can see on your screen, there's some cards on the table that are just letters, but it's kind of like this display of words, and it's like a crossword puzzle. So what I have here, and I did this pre-screening here. I used this deck right here, and I just I shuffled around with the deck, and I dropped a few cards, and then I just put the cards together, and this is what it came up with. But this is the starting point. And this is poetry, panic, Chad. That could be a name, it could be a place. And then it says grin, and then it says next. So kind of putting these words together, if those words kind of are accumulating in your mind's eye, kind of what this means to you. And this is for Divine Masculine or Divine Feminine, kind of understand what's going on here. But I think that there's a poetic justice taking place within the Divine Masculine. He's been in a state of panic, and his name could be Chad, but I can also get off of that word had. He's had it. But this is something to smile about. That's why the word grin is here, because there's a next chapter. He sees the next chapter, and it's like being able to write this next chapter. The Divine Masculine is tapped into a feminine energy and is able to express from a place of the heart and of love, and also with a sense of purpose. And that's why the binaural beats are playing here. But we're going to take these same letters here, and we're going to kind of mix them around. You can watch as I do it, and see what this next chapter is all about. So let's see what's going on here. Kind of mix these words around here and see what we can come up with here. Dan could be a name, or it's Danish, or Dane. He could be Dane, like from Denmark. Pad, we have Pad here. Like an iPad, literally an iPad for his eyeball. So maybe he's got a bad eye or had eye surgery, something of that nature there. Let's see. We also have tone or ton. This is heavy weight. He's going to be shelling off of himself here. A lot of weight from the inner child, but also just from subconscious thinking and programming, reprogramming. So we have here, we have so we have thing. So there's a lot of things. Things could be or something. There's a thing that's with the divine masculine that's maybe trebling this divine masculine. Maybe the thing is about his tone. Maybe he's approached the divine feminine in a tone that is not correct. So let's see what other words we have here. We also have grit. So yeah, he's a very tough-skinned divine masculine here. Grit is very much so part of his programming, and so we just turned that whole first chapter of these words, and we have these extra letters here of X, C, and Y. X, C, Y. He may have an X that doesn't see Y. That doesn't see why he's choosing to go in a different direction here. And it's part of his karma, if it's going to be good karma, to be able to handle the situation in a way that isn't going to damage the relationship moving forward with you, divine feminine. So it's it's going to take a lot of grit to be able to get through this for both parts here. But I think that the divine masculine is very much so on the right path of solving the problems that are troubling him at this time, and knows exactly what he needs to do, and he knows exactly where he's going. We have gain. We're going to see if we got Cain here. We got pack, or pay. Yeah, where we got pack here. So we got pack and Cain. This is kind of looking further into it just to see what things are looking like here. We got so looking into the future, I think there's like a teen, or he may have a teenage kids, or a teen, one child that is a teenager. So let's see what's going on here. We also have so hang. We have hang. That's like a hangman, and then we have, I guess, aha moment. He's been in the hangman position and has been able to take the weight of everything here, even with the dealing with having to move away from his children. He's been in this hangman position here for a while here, having a really difficult time. Probably not been able to see his kids, going through a separation, divorce, something like that. But he's having an aha moment in all of this, and how to handle the situation. And I think that's what's going to lead into more of an understanding when we flip out these tarot cards and do a little reading here on this information here. So it's pretty enlightening information there. I think that was pretty fun to do a little word search there. But let's move right into the reading and see what's going on with the divine masculine and how it pertains to you, divine feminine, and get a reading here. We're going to go right into the tarot. As I split the deck here before pre-shuffle, we have the Knight of Cups and we have the Emperor. So that's pretty powerful two cards to have on a split of the deck there. Let's get a few more shuffles here. We have the Emperor and we have the Ace of Cups. So there's another look at the pre-shuffle read there. Ace of Cups, he's looking for his new beginning, one full of love, and it's overflowing, seeing things differently. the cup isn't half empty or half full, it's overflowing. So the Emperor really has a different perspective on his circumstance here. And I didn't look at it that time, but we're going to go right into a reading now. So Spirit, we're grateful for all the messages that have been given through the guidance of the cards, but also the perspective of the reader to be able to express and to be able to permeate deep within the cards to find a sense of balance and a sense of reason, and pull the message from Spirit. Spirit, help with the channeling at this time to understand gratitude at a different level, to see and hear things differently as they once heard it before. So we have these cards right now. We have the Ten of Wands. This is a burdensome time here. Wands signifying fire energy. This could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but carrying this burden here. One of the wands is actually what's lighting the way forward, though. It's like taking his pain and using it as a way of lighting his path forward, forging a new path. So he's packing these other wands here with him for that purpose. He's learned how to turn his pain into his gain. So this is something that's under development, and moving forward, he's using this as inspiration. And as he uses this light, wherever he's going, he's gonna lighten his load by each time this torch or wand that he burns is going to eliminate that struggle or pain or but not being able to see his path moving forward. By lighting it on fire, he's going to be able to see that path moving forward. We have the Three of Pentacles here, and in reverse, this is the card right here, but if you look at it in the upright, you can see that there's this spiral jetty here with the tree branches here, or thorns. It looks like a thorns from like a rose bush or something like that. But you can see on this, I'm seeing 3 apples here, cut apples, slices of an apple is what it looks like these pentacles look like. But this is also the card of collaboration and working together. So this is something that is in reverse here. So this is something that the Divine Masculine is doing on his own, and must do on his own for his own enlightenment, to overcome all of the challenges from his subconscious mind and the things that trouble him as far as his beliefs about himself, but also about his money, his structure, and his passion. So right here we have the Page of Swords. This is this in the upright. So I instantly got this energy of spying. I think the Divine Masculine, this was in the reverse, was in a stuck state of mind and spying and being kind of a creeper on the Divine Feminine. So it's like stepping out of that energy of always wanting to know what the Divine Feminine is doing. Although the Divine Feminine is connected to him and he realizes this, he's not having to do so much of the spying or trying to understand. He can feel her. And so he's letting this truth lead him forward and lead him out of this place of being distant. And he wants to close the gap and not spy anymore. Although this is also a card of being interested and intrigued, wanting to know the truth, wanting to have validation, stuff of that nature there as well. But it's like this Divine Masculine has found a sense of purity within the relationship dynamic, and is you can see in the nest up there. There's a nest with the birds, and he's got the divine guidance, but he's also giving birth to this idea of taking action instead of sitting back and watching how things play out. He's going to watch the time just tick away, and he's going to miss his opportunity. So that's why the card came out in reverse. Is he's actually taking action. He's not letting this just be in his thoughts anymore. He's letting it delve into other elements of his being. So it has a lot to do with his purpose, but it also has a lot to do with his passions and what moves him. What moves him forward is you, Divine Feminine, but not from a place of awkwardness anymore. It's of complete understanding, and it's also of knowing the truth of the situation. So let's get some more cards on this storyline that's developing for the Divine Masculine here. We have the Magician is, you can see right there, it's came out sideways here. These other cards will have come out right there, like this. But this Magician, we're going to focus on this right here in the upright. This is a card of Aries here, but this is as above, so below. It's like using the magic of above to bring into the 3D world, the above being the 5D world, right? And so we have this owl here, but the owl in the tree, and the other depiction of the Page of Swords also had the birds in the tree right above the head, right? So it's kind of this stepping out of this inner child, but now understanding this is a transitional period into the higher self, using the realizations of the inner child to move us forward. And now we have all 4 elements here, but we had 3 of the elements in these 3 cards. The first 3 cards were 3 of the 4 elements, but with the Magician we have all of the elements on the table here. And so it's using these elements to alchemize a better future. And this is a Magician that's in sideways, which is, I don't always read cards sideways, but it was just very it just fits that this would be sideways. He's not in his fullness of power yet, because he's still developing all the sutures that's gonna suit you best, and the frequency and the balance of vibration that's between you two. And so he's almost there. I mean, the Magician in reverse is, I think this is where he had come from, and this is probably why, Divine Feminine, you were so offended by the way his approach was to you. I think that you were very attracted to this person, but I think that at the same time, what they would say and do, and the actions that they would carry out weren't correct. It just is, the energy just seemed off. And so even at this time, the energy may seem a little bit off, but you can see that there's progression here, that there's a lot of internal struggles being released. And then we have these cards still right here. We have the Emperor in reverse, which is kind of like self-absorbed energy. So I think this is the energy of the Emperor being self-absorbed. The next card we have here is the Two of Wands. We have this ability that's been given to the Divine Masculine to be able to feel with his heart, and being able to feel with his heart, but have that connection to you, Divine Feminine. And so, and I see this little sachet here on the side here, the coins. So he's developed some kind of way of making money in a different way. You can see these apples on the ground, just eating apples left on the ground there, kind of stepping away from this, being kind of like a natural man, a pig, is what some would say. But these Two of Wands, this is deciding what it is that he wants in his future, and what fits for him. He's even drawn up on the walls certain things, calculations, things like that, and how much money he's got to obtain, and where he's got to be at to match the frequency of his divine counterpart here. So, and it's not about the money, it's about just being stable and reliable, and at a place mentally, physically, and emotionally that he can provide for his divine counterpart here, and to clean up his act. So this is kind of like this pause moment here before actually knowing exactly by list what it is that he needs to accomplish here. We have the Tower. Yeah, this is a very towering moment here. But that I get from this too. This is like a burning things that no longer belong in his life. So it's like taking the crown of what he thought he had established in his empire, taking the crown off of that, and really taking this self analysis, self self-awareness, but it's like this tower is in direct resemblance of his body, of his self. So it's like this going within, seeing the fire is within here, but it's lifting that crown off to get off of his high horse and to look at and step away from his self-absorbed nature to be able to actually feel and see the dilemma that's right here in front of him. So this is I'm also getting some fast action taking place as well. We have justice in reverse. So he's in a place where yeah, and like we'd seen before in the previous cards about his injustice that's being served on him, and this is partly karma because he's not taking action on things that he knows he needs to take action on. You can see this balancing in the upright, this balance right here, these scales that this that's being held. This could be a judge in a courtroom or things of that nature. I think that the process has been set, but he's not really standing up for himself. He's blindfolded to the truth and realities. His hands are tied, but I think this is something that he can easily untie himself from, and he can get his justice. In doing so, he's going to be serving karma on a previous karmic relationship. Karmic, I say karmic because there's a lot of inner childhood wounding. It's between the two of them. They're both in red dresses here, but you can see in this middle representation of himself, he's fading into white, a more pure sense of self. And this tree right here is also a good signifier of as above, so below. It's the branches on the tree here, this tree of life, this tree of knowledge. You know, he's having a more complete understanding of where he's at and gauging where he's going. So it's also that progression in color here, like this fade to black, but it's like this fade to white. You know, he's understanding that he is a light being having a human experience. So on the bottom of the deck we have, let's see what that is, the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Being left out in the cold is the energy of this card, but you can see this is the Divine Feminine leaving him in the cold, but this was necessary for him to understand where he was at this juncture in the journey. And I just can see this card wants to pop up. If you can see that's wanting to pop up there, so I'm drawn to pull it. And we have the King of Cups. It's like, and through this Five of Pentacles energy, he was left behind by the Divine Feminine because he wasn't coming in right. And as you can see, he's kind of catching his breath there, but in catching his breath and kind of looking at things, taking a break from the mundane, he's understanding he needs to come in as the King of Cups, as this Emperor energy. That takes the King of Cups to be able to turn that Emperor energy around. The King of Cups is about the emotions that he holds for his Divine Feminine. You can see floating out of that cup in the steam is this this connection to his Divine Feminine. He sees now more strongly than ever that there's a telepathic communication with her. He's obviously at a distance from her, but as he delves into his emotions, that's where he can feel the visitations of his divine counterpart in his heart, and have a sense of an awareness of what he needs to do, and to be fair, to share these emotions and to express them towards her. You know, and he may have been troubled when she walked away from him, of why is this happening? I thought things were going good and going correct, you know. So it's like understanding that in silence he's actually being it's like a mastering some of his spiritual gifts, which is of telepathy, and it's also of looking inward and diving within, understanding the chakras here. You know, a lot of this root chakra being handled at this time. Maybe even thought that he had handled some things, but you can see he's kind of coming in to her incorrect in this card here. He's just really slum looking. He looks like he ain't got a job. It looks like he's barefoot in the snow. So it's pretty detrimental to what the Divine Feminine needs. She needs stability. She needs somebody that's going to be strong and firm and going to be able to like take care of her when she needs it, and she don't need anybody. She's already attracting in everything that she would need. It's coming down to a point of what she wants here. And so also with this King of Cups card, he's wearing a cloak of 2 shades of blue. The 2 shades of blue would be the third eye. The third eye as well as the throat chakra. So he needs to be speaking on what he feels and what he sees. Being the King of Cups, he's very reserved on his emotions. He doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve here, but he needs to be more vulnerable if he wants to bring in his divine counterpart here. On the next card on the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. This is the truth of lifting his crown. Remember in the Tower card, this crown being lifted so that he can really dive inside and take a look at himself and really have a stronger understanding of himself, but also a sense of purpose and a mission, and how it all relates to the universe, and how it all relates to his zodiac even, or his placement within his own family, the dynamics everywhere. He's really going really deep here, and he's connecting everything, connecting the dots, just as the ancient astronomers and astrologists, they really studied the stars. And so that's what he's doing at this time, is he's really diving deep, and this sense of justice coming into place. Remember, this card was in reverse, so he's really having to take action on several things in his life that he's already put a lot of effort into building his empire with. He has several good ideas of his alchemy. This is in sideways here, because when we turn this upright, he's going to be, and this is how close this all is. Turning this Magician card in the upright is the magic that he has within, and some of the magic that he's already been able to use throughout his life, with the spiritual gifts that he already possessed. So it's really astounding to see where the divine feminine or divine masculine is at in his quest for his arrival to his divine feminine. But this is all truth coming from above. But we have right here this Knight of Cups right here. This I viewed it right here, Knight of Cups in reverse. This Knight of Cups energy. Also, we've seen this in the pre-shuffle. This Knight of Cups energy, what it was attached to was the Emperor, right? But this in my hand being in reverse, that's not going to be good enough. A little picnic and then this in and out energy is not going to be what it's going to take to win over his divine counterpart. And we have right here the Hermit. He's coming out of Hermit mode, and you see right here all this red, the red being the root chakra. And so really bringing light to his inner child, and recognizing the inner child within him that's going to help him to come out of this cave. Many moons, and you can see moon cycles being signified on the cave walls. But this is also number 9, end of cycles here. So that's a major arcana card. We have Justice, and we have Hermit there, Tower. We have a few major arcanas here that are and the Magician and the Emperor. So about half the cards on the table are major arcana. So these are major shifts that have taken place quite recently. And he may have had epiphanies, he may have had inclinations, he may have had downloads up to this point throughout his life. But this is a major shift, a paradigm shift that's helping him to solidify these changes in his life and step forward as a divine masculine, as a divine being who's here for a divine purpose. So, and we have here the Queen of Swords. This is the energy of the divine feminine right now. This is the divine feminine who has done the work. You can see the 2 shades of red here, and she's taken on these 2 shades of red. Maybe the divine feminine in her connection to the divine masculine through telepathic connection has taken on his inner child that was damaged, and so this is really weighing heavy on the divine feminine here, and she can see with this. She's been able to use this ability to gauge where he's at and what moves are necessary at this time. And she's divinely guided. She has many spiritual guides around her at this time, and she's also looking at the progress but not saying a word as well. The Queen of Swords in the reverse can say some pretty hurtful things, and I think this divine feminine is can be frustrated at this time, but chooses not to say anything out of respect to her own lessons being learned of really being hurtful in the past. So I think there's a lot of lessons here with this sword of truth here also being signified right here. She's had to take her crown off at a point in her life, and she's seeing that this has taken place within her divine masculine, and she's not saying anything, but she's surrendered to the process. She surrendered to the fate of the universe, and not that she's waiting, but it looks as though she is sitting there waiting, and come correct or don't come at all is kind of the look on her face here. But she is given this the chance of a lifetime here. I think she's waited her whole life for this opportunity, and as well as the divine masculine. The divine masculine has been kind of in a distorted state. I think he's where justice is in reverse. This would signify that he's very understanding of a feminine energy, and I think that in a divorce here, he's not taking action. So that's where this disillusioned masculine energy is coming from, a place of having a lot of feminine energy within himself. But he's finding balance, but he's also tipping the scales on his divine masculine side so he can take action in several areas of his life. This is in career, this is in his family dynamics, his personal dynamics, as well as his relationship to you. So a lot of red everywhere on this reading, but we're gonna drop that right there. But we're gonna use another deck. We're gonna dive into some of let's use this here, and then we'll pull these other cards here as well. I'm gonna pull two different decks here. Gotta reach over and grab them here. But let's get some purpose on this. This is a lot about this purpose that's taking place here. But let's pull these cards, these oracle cards here. Let's give them a shuffle and pull two cards, Spirit. We're so grateful for this message as it is connected to the truth, and showing and revealing everything about the divine masculine and his quest, his journey, and where he's at, and as far as the timeline's concerned, and where the divine feminine is in the end of this tarot spread here. You can see the divine feminine just come correct or don't come at all. So this is a lot of pressure on the divine masculine, but it was necessary pressure. So let's get two cards, Spirit. We're grateful, so grateful for all of this, and we ask that the message be pure and of truth. That's too many, but I'm just seeing this a circle of eternal joy, timelessness, dance of life. So, we're not taking that, but that's what's coming out. There was too many cards to go through right there. We want two, Spirit. Can we get two cards? See that? So he might feel a little overwhelmed by all of this, and I think this is a little bit of transitional energy that's gone on within him. But this is what fell to the floor. If it falls to the floor, it comes to your door, and it says twin flames, soul partner, eternal connection. So Spirit wants me to keep that one. It's the only one that was face up. As you can see, those cards are face down, but too many again. So this understanding of all these other cards flying out with this one card, he's having an understanding of this twin flame journey and what it's going to take. And it's very immense, and it's deep, and it's dense. And it's going to take some fierce energy here. You can see there's a tiger here. This is the year of the tiger as well. But we can also see that this is a number 16, if that means anything to you. But 16 is also added together in numerology, and it comes out as 7. That could be a life path number as well, a soul path number, or whatever that might mean to you. But number 7 here, 7 is also a connection to the divine. So there is some divine purpose here, and it's like this parallel universe is what I'm getting off of that card. But the stripes of the tiger being orange and black, and he's in this white, the sense of purity, coming into purity. Fierceness, and it's real. It doesn't get any more real than this, but enlightened to this idea of it all. With all the other cards coming out like that, it's just an overload of information as it was expressed in the letter. It was a lot of information coming to him at once, through epiphanies, through awakenings, what have you. But realizations. Let's get one more card, Spirit, for this energy here. What's the energy leading towards with this understanding the divine masculine has in its fullness? He may have said this too. He might have a vague understanding of the twin flame journey, but I think he's got a more in-depth understanding. What is this understanding here? There it is. So we have idyllic times, the garden, paradise. So and that's also 48 added together is also 12. Added together also is 3. So 3 is also this body, mind, and soul. He's connecting his body and his mind, each individually and then collectively, to this garden, this paradise, this dreamy state, this fantasizing about you, divine feminine, in this garden area. But it's also, he's being enlightened by this owl again. We see the owl once again. So an owl might be something specific to you. And I think that's what we're going to do, is we're going to pause this reading just for the sense of looking up what an owl means. If you're dreaming about an owl, what that means in the 5D and how it translates into the 3D. So we're going to look that up and see this. And this is the book right here. But we're going to look this up right now, see what the owl has to say about all of this. Owl. It says, to hear the solemn, unearthly sound of the muffled voice of the owl warns dreamers. Precaution should be taken that life is not ruthlessly exposed to an unyielding grasp. Bad tidings of the absent will surely follow this dream. So it's he's realizing he has to be present. He has to stay in the present moment, not dwell things of the past or worry about things in the future. It also says, to see a dead owl denotes a narrow escape from desperate illness or death. Yes, and then it also says, to see an owl foretells that you will be secretly maligned and be in danger from enemies. And so this is where the divine masculine is at. I believe that 100%. He's having to really focus on the task at hand, but also have an awareness of his health and of his well-being, and not doing things that are going to damage his clear thinking or his stability as far as his health is concerned. This is I think directly related to his health. But let's pull some more cards, and this is out of this deck here. This is the Lightworkers deck, and we're going to see what the purpose is of all of this. There it is, dropping down. What his purpose is and what he's connecting to here as far as purpose is concerned. It says the 7 star sisters, birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression. And I think this is the valuable lesson that's being learned right now with the divine masculine, is this sense of expression, and doing it from an honest place, and not from a shallow place, but from a very, very deep place that transcends all of time. It goes throughout all of his lifetimes, and in combination to one another, and bringing it to the forefront, and expressing this love that he has for you. Very deep and very enlightened. And it's this birthing of creations. You might have a purpose of bringing a child into this world, but also birthing creations is directly related to ideas being formulated in this 3D world. So let's see what the purpose is with you guys together. This is what the lesson he's learning right now, and his purpose at this time. But what's the purpose between you two together? What is the purpose between the divine masculine and the feminine together? We have right here, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? So it's almost like this secretive energy. The universe doesn't really necessarily want you to have the answer by just asking the universe. The universe wants you to explore within yourselves what this is, and it's developing as you go. So the universe is saying it's up to you what it is that your calling is. Your calling is something happening within you and between you two. So it's defined on this journey as you flow through this growth period and finally coming into union. So it's you can see here the sun in the background there, but then also looking off into a far distance. See, answer the call. I think this is also the call with the telepathy, the ability to communicate through telepathy and meditation, and taking the time to do this and to slow things down and to not be so overworked and to speed things up. A lot of divine masculines think that they have to overload themselves to feel like they have some sense of worth or some sense of belonging here. But I think that the call here is to slow down and to meditate and to allow these messages from not only the universe and from the spirit guides, but from each other. You're at a distance from one another, and so it's like the only solid way that you know that this is on the right path is by telepathic communication. You can do videos, you can do phone calls and things of that nature too, and emails and other ways of communication, but this is the most divine gift that's been gifted in this last dispensation and in these last days, as they refer them to, of communication. It's a most divine gift between two counterparts that are twin flames. This energy is real and it's pure, and there's no blockages or frequency damage taking place through the airwaves or radio waves or what have you. It's clear and it's clean and it's clean cut. You know, it's direct and to the point, and it's messages that are felt more than they are received as in words or messages on paper or anything of that nature. It's just it's a feeling that's comfort and it's love and it's joy, and it's like this idyllic time of reflection and looking at the garden and the paradise that's going to be the meeting place. It's like this meeting place between the two where they're physically not together. This meeting place is in the 5D, the 5D energy, and it's spiritually guided, and it's also guided for the sense of growth, but also transformation. You can see the butterfly on the card, this transformative energy here. So yeah, I think this is pretty close to what we want in the reading here, but we're going to do one more card and close this reading out with the nail in the coffin here. But this is a deck for stones. It's my favorite deck, to be honest with you. But if you were to buy a stone right now, what would be the stone or the crystal that you could carry with you to ensure this communication, or you can ensure that this union takes place, and have this guidance with you, your spirit guides, and kind of pushing you along here as a catalyst? This crystal being the catalyst. What is the crystal that is going to help the divine masculine and the divine feminine the most at this time? What crystal is it? There it is. It says snake skin agate. And I'll show you what that looks like. Looks like an egg to me, you know, birthing of new creations and new ideas. This birthing idea here, but this tough skinned layer on the outside, but in the core, you know, we have the yoke. You know, the yoke, and when you have two oxen, when they would pull wagons and such back in I'd say the pioneer days or whatever, the days of pioneering. They would yoke the two oxen together, and that was a piece of wood that would chain the two together. But the burden of the labor would be lessened. So the burden would be much easier to do together than rather doing it alone. So very, very enlightening there. But we also have, it reads right here, it says snakeskin agate, strength, privacy, and self-love. And it says being comfortable in your own skin takes time, and snakeskin agate helps boost self-esteem and self-awareness, so you can do just that. Snakeskin agate gives you the confidence to step outside your comfort zone and explore new aspects of yourself, all within your discretion. Snakeskin agate can blend in with the crowd. So if you don't want to be seen and wish to carry on with your activities in peace, this is the stone for you. snakeskin agate is able to facilitate a kundalini rising and encourages full embodiment of self. This is governing planet is Mercury, and its zodiac is under Gemini. So if those planet or zodiac sign means anything to you, that's also a stone I think that would really resonate with you really well at this time. So very beautiful. I think this reading went without a hitch. I think this is exactly a resemblance of what's going on within the dynamic of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, but mostly focused on where the divine masculine is at this time. So yeah, let's turn this magician up right side up and co-create. That's what this is all about. Thank you so much for your likes and your subscribes, thumbs up, and shares about this video or my channel. And I'm signing out. Love and light.